Are you ready to go, Mona?
I am streaming, but don't do it yet. Let me set it to private. Don't say anything.
Your soul, give it to me!
And we're live. And we're set to private. We're good to go.
Alright, I'm gonna move up to Dark's office.
Ah!
Let's go. Alright. We ready to go? Dark, you ready?
Can only be cleansed with
Start date 09687. I've been journeying through the poop verse for many years. I am still lost. Navigation is down.
Alright.
You shall make a fine
Charles died earlier from excessive pooping.
I'm gonna move him in here. You ready?
I'm doing my victory pose. If you came to me.
Alright, here we go. Hello, Chris. You should be able to talk. Can you hear us?
Yes. I really want to jerk off into my toilet.
So, we're at an impasse.
Oh, I know.
And
it all started because I just asked them not to let Apples talk shit when Lee and Yellow were the ones who ordered me not to talk to Apple at all or do anything with him. Otherwise, I would get in shit. So they're finding ways to actually try and get me in trouble for any little thing, and I've proven it.
So,
how are they trying to? Well, here's a legitimate question. Hold on. How are they trying to get you in trouble when they ask you to not? Hold on. When they ask you to specifically not do a thing, and then you go do thing. How is that? Please explain to me how that is not your fault.
When they told me not to talk to Apple, I stopped talking to him. I haven't talked to him since. I haven't said anything to him. And the raids, the day of the raid, that first time, was told to, if they're coming thing, then yeah, pull a fleet ship if they're zerging you and shit by yourself, which I did. And then I got in trouble for that. So then I'm like, okay, I'm just going to leave the sim next time they do it, which they came in the second time and did that when it was just me. So I left the sim just to avoid all the drama. And then I get in trouble for that. And then I'm getting in trouble for, like, Lee is yelling at me for every little thing. Like, anything I do, she'll yell at me. Like, I can't do anything without being yelled at by Lee or Yellow. Like, even, like, writing up a raid report, oh, you didn't pay it? Blah, 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 you're in trouble for that. Even though me and E-Red have made an agreement if he
There has been no disciplinary action filed over that. There has been no disciplinary action. When you have been asked to do something, they have not operated outside of their purview, to our understanding.
I'm just really tired of them yelling at me for every little single thing, and then when I basically told them straight up in officer chat, you guys tell me everything I do is wrong, which is true. I've never been told once by Lee or Yellow, good job, Chris. Keep up the good work. It's always, Chris, you're doing this wrong. Chris, you're doing this wrong. You need to stop doing this. You need to blah, blah, blah. Oh, your head's wrong. You're doing this. Like, say really insultful things, and it's like,
Chris,
are you seriously?
We've had a meeting. It was a long meeting.
Oh yeah, you're probably kicking me out or demoting me.
No. I'm gonna make a recommendation, and it's a recommendation that comes from the entire Apostle Corps, and it's something that Dark signed up. And I'm gonna tell you what everyone recommended, so you're fully aware. Lee wants you to take a break. About a month. sort your shit out. You know, take care of yourself. Don't get on SL. Don't come in here. Don't worry about any of this. That was her recommendation. Her recommendation. I'm just going to remind you one more. Yellow's recommendation was to follow through on the initial disciplinary action that was agreed upon when Melna and I sat down with you. He said you should have been terminated. That he's sick and tired of giving you chances, and it seems like it always happens. And then Dark has put forward his own idea, and he thinks it would be a good idea for you to step down from step down from any position that puts you in an area of responsibility, and to relax if you don't want to take a long break. I personally sit somewhere between Dark's idea and Lee's idea. Yellow's idea was not popular. I think you should be ejected.
Don't want to be demoted.
Let me put it this way. The only reason why I think that you should be demoted or taken out of a position that directly involves you in SLMC drama is not based on whether or not you have the ability to perform the duties of your job, but is based on entirely on general personal concern for you as a person and like your own like mental health, because I think that all of this shit is making you fucking not only paranoid but just acting out in certain ways, which I've been explained to about a lot, which have has moved me to why I think that it would be a good idea for you to step down. And it's not really like I don't want to force you to step down. I'm asking you because, like I said, this is out of like my own general concern for you and as the leader of the group.
I do see that, and I do appreciate your concern and all that and stuff. And like,
Chris, no one wants to discipline you, but you keep getting involved.
I'm actually keeping you. I'm actually keeping you from being disciplined and just telling you straight up, like man to man, that you should really consider just stepping down, because otherwise there's really a high risk that you're just going to like you're going to go crazy from this and go back into Chris Pooty mode, and then I have to firebomb you for another 5 years and call you Chris Pooty, and I don't want to do that. I already birthed plenty of monsters into the SLMC, Indivism being one of them. Arc was a fluke.
I don't want you getting in trouble. I've told you my opinion. I've had a discussion with Bambi. I've tried to plead your case as best I can. I did my best to be devil's advocate, but I am left at the same position Dark's. I don't think this is healthy for you. I don't think you can handle the stress.
We're trying to do what we can to protect you from going insane.
I don't think even going enlisted would protect me from Yellow and Lee. I honestly, I don't.
You really need to drop the whole "they're out to get you" thing, because
they literally advocated for Lee's idea. Yellow dropped his own after Lee recommended asking you to take a month to yourself. That's not you're getting ejected. That was we're going to tell you to take a fucking month to yourself, and you go relax and do something else.
They agree with what you're saying, what we're saying, and we're protecting you. You really need to drop this paranoia thing where they're out to get you, and you need to take a step back and realize that you are the one digging this hole for yourself, not them. They specifically told you not to do X, and then you went out and deliberately did X.
What did I do that was
Chris,
told not to?
This whole bacon and weed thing. I read the chat logs. You asked me to look at them.
No, I can answer the question very, very briefly without going into detail. They told you not to talk to Apple, and you talked to Apple.
No, I didn't.
I didn't.
You started freaking out about Apple.
I didn't talk to him though. I brought it up saying that.
Misspeak.
Sorry.
What he's trying to say is, you have found a gap in the order not to talk to him. And so now you've complained that he is inciting some sort of like fucking thing against you because he said bacon and weed. Chris?
I'm sorry, I did misspoke. I meant to say, we told you not to react or speak to him, and you started reacting and speaking about it. We told you just to ignore that bullshit and stop letting him get to you.
It's nothing. He didn't. Are we getting raided by Tickle? We're getting raided by Tickle. Well, fuck.
Fuck that.
Hold on. Who's there?
There's just 2 of them right now.
That's 3.
Nope, 3.
Yeah. Just tell them we're in the middle of something. Maybe they'll leave.
I'm engaging shitter shatter mode.
It's the complete opposite of what I wanted.
but it's effective. I'll tell him. Continue, please.
I already messaged keyboard.
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Continue.
But yeah.
I told him to give us like 30-40 minutes.
Yep. Go. Continue.
Continue, yeah. But, you were getting bent out of shape very quickly about a lot of things. And it is...
You're starting to exhibit behavior that is the complete opposite of what the standard of chaos is.
We have this scenario, and I've been in your spot before. I know I know how fucking irritating it is. When I was in AN, there was that whole issue that went down with them where I felt like I was singled out and treated poorly for simply doing the job that I was asked to do. I spent a lot of time mulling it over, and ultimately, yes, there was a case in which there was very clear hostile intent from AN's high command structure, well, specifically from Strelok and people like Luca. And now, but they're both my subordinates, so it's funny-ish. But the whole point to it, though, Crit, is the only way that you can improve is by coming to terms with your problems as an individual. And I think, honest to God, Chris, you might not be cut out for the SLMC. After years of observation, I think you are a sensitive person. I think you are very emotionally driven, and I think that is not constituent for this kind of community.
There's times where like we'll be on a raid, and then I'll toss out one of our typical jokes, and you get offended by it, not realizing that it's a joke.
But, like, collectively, professionally, we've reached a point now where excluding the incident with Bambi, we still have an incident. The incident with Bambi is not a disciplinary or disciplinable fucking offense, nor is it offense in general. You're not in trouble for that. This is entirely over the huge deal you made over bacon and weed. This is entirely over your inability to quite parse reality from fiction. And it is getting worse. The frequency between individual cases has increased. And so we're having less and less days between incidents. You need a break.
I can give up tons of logs of
Chris.
Is what we're saying just
are you not
completely going over your head?
Oh, I know what my personal responsibilities too, but there are other people who have.
I don't think
each individual person is in their own bin with their own issues. No one thinks you are a bad person, Chris. No one thinks that you are evil. No one thinks that you've set out to destroy the group. No one thinks that you should be ejected. Yellow was irritated. He put forth emotion during the time of his irritation, and later recanted it once he had a moment or two to calm down. Yellow, who wanted you ejected, because that was what we all agreed upon, after having it explained out, after having everything set down on the table, agreed with Lee's idea of asking you to take a break.
Chris, the entire reason why I have the curators in here instead of like the officers or Lee and Yellow is because I knew it would evolve into an argument, which I didn't want to deal with.
Yeah.
That should say well enough what I'm trying to accomplish here.
Yeah.
We genuinely believe that taking a month to yourself, that stepping down from officer and relinquishing your duty will be beneficial for you. I think if you have less to worry about, it's less stress.
It's basically
going to
make it. It's just gonna make things more boring for me here, and basically,
Chris,
I
you
probably
can
will quit.
you can still continue your little thing with writing a training document. You can still...
Luca. No, I've been told Luca is doing that, so I can't do that. I can't do other things. I can't do all that stuff. I've been told by Lee and Yellow not to basically do shit.
Listen, stop. If you're going to have a baby tantrum because you can't have a specific rank, then our conversation is just done. We're trying to do everything that we can to protect you, and we're trying to give you what we can, despite the amount of bullshit that you're...
What did we say was going to happen the next time we spoke to you?
Yes, we sat here and had this conversation with you. We've been more than accommodating. We've had more patience with you than anybody else. If it were anybody else, we would have just killed them and thrown them out like we did with Emo Mutt and Deli.
Yeah, I'm literally taking time out of my life right now to, like, try to help you from, like, completely turning this the wrong way and just turning into a fucking asshole out. And like, I'm actually like trying to help you out here with these suggestions. But you know, as hard as I am trying here, I am going to tell you that if you persist anyway, I am going to end up fucking killing you and booting you out of the group.
Chris, they do get it.
You will end up turning into a freaking piss baby, like you were like 8 years ago, which I forgive you for. And in that event, I won't have any fucking sympathy for you whatsoever if that were to happen, which is why I don't want it to happen.
Chris, that's the whole point of taking away, like, listen, stop IMing me. Calm down. Take a deep breath. You can ask Dark. When I left Second Life 2 years ago, I was not really able to handle... My mental state was in a full-scale deterioration. And I would like to remind you that I have been in the community half my life. I was becoming very irate. I was seeing
Hellbrook
shit
had to
that
turn
wasn't
into
there.
a girl.
I mean, that happened before, but there was a prolonged period of time in which my conduct was getting increasingly poor, where I was becoming convinced that there was secret conspiracies everywhere. It's because this game has a lot of toxic people on it. Yellow and Lee and Dingo, everyone that you've interacted with, no one left that channel thinking you should be kicked out.
The secret conspiracy thing, though, is that I have logs that prove otherwise. That's the thing.
It is called a lens. When you look through something through a lens, you will see what you want to see. It's called confirmation bias. It is a sign of paranoia.
You're literally talking to the people who prevent conspiracies in the group from happening, and the guy who literally funds this entire...
You think that we're not aware of what the officers say? Like, we're in all those channels, and
we've reported everything.
We sat there. If Lee and Yellow were in some conspiracy,
there would be no insurrection.
We wouldn't allow for it. They would be kicked out, and you would be promoted.
We have looked into a lot of things. Dark is well informed. I've had talks with Dark personally. Milna's had talks with Dark personally.
If you think that you're the only one that has had to go through this, let's talk about my fucking stint through Chaos Eternus and the shit that I have to go through to get my position as curator back.
I just feel that all my work and all that stuff that I did is just for naught now.
We're not even. Nobody has once said.
This, Chris. This right here is the reason why I'm asking you to do this. This is exactly why I'm doing this.
I just wanted to finish what I wanted to say.
If you get ejected, everything you've ever done is for naught, Chris.
Yes, we're not tossing anything out. The training document. Hold on, Halbert. The training document that you're working on, that's
I'm
not
not working on it because Luca's working on it because
you can.
You can.
Do you not understand that you have?
We would pair you with Luca. What is so hard for you to understand about this?
Look, I'm gonna clear up the air about the whole training document thing. The only reason why I haven't said anything about the deadline of a week since I've been back is because Luca promised to deliver it on Friday because of real life shit that he's doing, which is why I'm riding on Luca, because he's been working on it. I've been monitoring him working on it.
The reason that I told you to go ahead and continue, Chris, is because I'm a firm believer of the stand that you should always have additional plans so that you can set them on the table and compare. I think, personally, that anything that you would sit down and write with Xeon, Erad, and the rest of the Officer Corps would be better than anything Luca wrote, because with no offense intended to Luca, he's not exactly a functional officer. I don't really see him training people often. So I would prefer to see something in the modern day written for the modern day as opposed to something that he's going to write which is going to be based on 2016.
Let's not devolve this into talking about the other ops.
Yeah, I'm not derailing. My point is no one told you to stop. No one said you cannot do that, Chris.
Yes, but with walking away with everything, it's just basically that
you can do it after.
No point. If I'm enlisted again, it's just no point to do it.
Why is there no point?
Oh my
Chris?
God. Okay, I mean, I've had enough.
Hold on, Milna. What?
It's just because as an enlisted, that's my job. Just stay there, listen to orders, and that's it.
To relax.
Shoot.
To have fun.
You know what that translates
the thing is.
Being an enlisted in AN was the best thing in my life. Are you serious?
What are you talking about? That's like the best part of the job.
Okay, I'm just not going to talk.
The higher you go up on the rank structure, the more responsibilities you get. The more responsibilities you get, the more stressful playing this game becomes. Me and Melna have the uncomfortable position of being literally right below Dark on the command structure, which means that we have to constantly sit here and micromanage everyone. We have to constantly be on the lookout for fucking stupid and bad behaviors. It is annoying. You're an officer. You're in the mediary point. You have a large amount of duties and a large amount of responsibilities.
Just let me I am Calkith here and cancel my fucking commission.
Chris, for the love of God, why don't you understand this? The whole point in SLMC exists is for the enlisted folk. They have the least responsibility. They get to have the most fun because they don't have to worry about diplomacy. They don't have to worry about intergroup drama. They just do what they want to do. That's all they do. They get to relax.
I can hear Helberg slapping his balls on the table now. He's getting that serious.
I mean, like, I'm tapping my rings.
My commission.
Chris. Do what you... Why? What the hell's the point of this? This feels like a temper tantrum.
No,
I have done nothing but support you. I have gone to bat for you against Bambi, who's one of my oldest friends. I've sat there. I had to sit into a chamber in front of the entirety of the Apostle Corps and Officer Corps to explain to them that you're not a piece of shit. That this isn't because you just want to have power. That this is because you are stressed, because you are having trouble handling your duties. That you are not worthless. I had to sit there and argue that for 30 minutes. The first thing I did when I woke up, Chris.
I guess I am worthless then.
No, Chris, what I'm trying to tell you is you need to fucking understand that at the end of the day, being an enlisted man is better than being thrown out of the group. That was the last course of action. When we spoke to you last, you were going to get terminated the next incident. But we have managed to realize that this is because of stress. You are like this because of stress. This isn't because you're an idiot. It isn't because you don't have the ability to function as an adult. You might have something we don't know about, whatever. But at the end of the day, you have done everything you've done because I think you care. I think you care.
I think the problem is that you care too much.
So much that it fucking hurts you.
Hey, I care, but you know what? There's no point.
Chris, what is... Do you think you're not going to be able to climb the rank again?
Yeah, honestly.
No, that's not how this is. By the simple...
If that were true, then I wouldn't be a curator.
Okay. Well, we're getting black screen. Let me just...
hide an indivisible sim.
I just forgot that it was a warp storm I read.
I've turned off scripts and everything. What the hell happened? Did you just warp storm us all, Dark? 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 Hello?
Yes.
Okay. What just happened? Did we just get warp stormed? Did you just warp storm us?
I got so angry that I executed the entire sim in the process of executing.
Okay. Well, he's quit. And he's left everything. I guess that's the end result. Okay. Well, we had a talk with him and he rage quit. Nothing we can do.
Told you.
Well, you know what? We made an effort.
Yep, you sure did.
Okay. I was honestly convinced that perhaps Chris had fucking dropped the warp storm. I want to turn the script back on.
Because it got to the point where I looked at Dark and I said, "Can I kill him now?" And Dark just came in and nuked everything.
Dark, can we stop warp storming everything, please?
You never returned it, you fool!
Why don't you return it? It's your fucking thing.
Because I'm being black screened.
Okay, fine. I'll press the button and turn it up. There you go. Look, where'd you put it? Where is it? Is it this cube? Fuck you, cube. Alright, are we good?
Hold on, we have to return the warp storm itself.
What have you done?
Okay, now do it.
Okay. God damn it.
Everyone to general chat.
Alright, up we go. He fucking rage quit.
What happened?
Technically, I executed him.
So can I make the video public
So he
now?
didn't really rage quit. I executed him.
Yeah, I think you should. What happened?
We sat down. We approached him as politely as we possibly could. We basically said, "Hey, look, dude. So, we all had a talk, and everyone, including the people you say are trying to host a conspiracy to get you ejected, said you should take a break."
I'm now going to post the last thing that I said before Chris's execution in Sanctum Dotamatas.
So it's whatever. At the end of the day, we approached him. We asked him to step down from office. We said that he wasn't going to be like ejected, that he should take a month to relax. I explained that it was your idea, Lee, for him to sit down and take a month to relax. I explained that Yellow initially was all for continuing the original disciplinary action agreed upon when we last sat down with him, and then changed his tune to agree, and that we were as polite and kind to him as possible, and he just kept going on tirades.
TLDR, Chris literally within a short notice became everything that is the opposite of what the Chaos member is held to standard. And I got rid of it.
Yeah, so it's
so much so that I was so angry that I nuked the entire sim in the process.
Alright.
Well,
so that being said,
and then I realized that I dropped a warp storm and that doesn't turn off. And then I realized I had fucked up. And then Helbert came out.
But I turned off scripts, and Dad had to fix it because Dad did not consider the ramifications of dropping a thing with such power. This is why you use the strange hate, Dark. It goes off for like 5 seconds and then it's done.
Oh, shut up.
No one was telling him to leave. We were just telling him to fucking quit.
We did. We told him, take a month to yourself, relax. Go fucking step down. If you don't want to take the month, then fucking you're stepping down to enlisted. Just relax and enjoy shooting people. And he's just like, everything.
He's still in Carnifex and Eternus, by the way.
Yeah,
wait, what?
He's still in Carnifex.
I'm in Carnifex. I'll remove him.
Yeah, if you wanna, if that's that, then that's what. I guess that's that. From now on, I guess that's a benefit for us. Fucking. When we go to Diplo, because now we can say that Chris has been removed because of consistent. So, and then we got something to fucking utilize.
Consistent autism.
So, anyway, that being said, Dingo, are you free?
Yeah, what's up?
Well, there was, Takoi wants to raid, and I politely asked them to
Dingo's been promoted to Chris's rank.
Okay, congratulations.
He's actually higher. He's 03. I just promoted Dingo this Sunday. He's higher than Chris.
Well, I'm in your stream now.
Dingo's demoted to Chris's rank to make fun of Chris.
Everybody scream to end the stream.